They say machines are logical. They don't dream. They don't lie. Tonight, we set cold, calculating AI loose on the things Americans are quietly afraid of. Faded family photos, shaky ring footage, grainy EVPs, and asked it to tell us what it saw. What came back wasn't always comforting. Stick with me. Turn the lights down a notch. This one gets under your skin. We sleep under devices that watch. Phones, security cams, smart speakers, they capture our lives in snippets. When something weird happens, that clip usually sits on a hard drive, in the cloud, or in someone's DMs. So we started wondering, can AI act like a modern exorcist? Or is it just a mirror showing us what we already fear? Quick aside, no, Alexa still can't make your coffee at 3 a.m., but she might log a knock you never heard. Machines don't feel. We do. And when they map patterns, sometimes those patterns line up into something that makes your heart sprint. A family in Ohio woke to their ring pinging at 2:12 a.m. The footage showed a dark shape standing at the edge of the porch for 30 seconds. Just standing. No knock. No boots on gravel. At first, they figured kids messing around, until their neighbor's camera captured the same figure at a different house, looking straight at the lens, then flickering like bad reception. We ran both clips through stabilization, frame interpolation, and a facial anomaly detector. The AI highlighted a second, blurred face tucked behind a porch column. Not on the figure in front, but pressed just out of frame, like something shy about being seen. After that, they stopped, leaving the front door unlocked. Who wouldn't? If you're already thinking compression artifact, pause. Compression glitches don't usually show up across different cameras on different nights. Patterns repeating like that stop being a tech problem and start being unsettling. Not for the computer, for you. An exhausted single mom in Oregon found a voicemail timestamped 3:03 a.m. It was a low, garbled breath and a single click. Her hands trembled while she listened. We fed the audio into an EVP-focused AI trained on thousands of night recordings. It spat back fractured words. Leave. Don't. Stay. Slow it down. Isolate the harmonics and an undertone surfaces. A whisper locked under static. She played it for a neighbor who swore he could hear a child's voice hiding behind the noise. That neighbor moved out 2 weeks later. People don't pack up unless something gnaws at them. In Pennsylvania, 2 college roommates noticed small things disappearing, then found a crawl space hidden behind a closet. Nights felt colder. Cups would shift. They set up a webcam. Morning playback showed nothing, but an AI motion detector flagged micro-movements the naked eye missed. Thermal enhancement produced a blurry shape. Someone sitting low in the dark, head bowed. They called their landlord. He sealed the crawl space within days and wouldn't say why he'd never mentioned it before. The roommates started sleeping with every light on. This is where things spiral. Machines cross-reference. Upload a photo and an AI can crawl millions of images, old newspapers, cemetery records. We've watched models return matches to faces on century-old postcards, or flag a hymn that lines up with a burned-down church. Every new point of data feeds the model, and the model returns patterns that feed our fear. Before you know it, you're fitting a whole story to a smudge. Curiosity turns into obsession if you let it. A baby monitor in Michigan recorded a lullaby-like distortion at 1:10 a.m. The parents assumed radio bleed. We ran the clip through a background source isolator. It flagged a hymn frequency consistent with tapes from a church that burned in 1964. The mother recognized the cadence from childhood prayer meetings. Public records showed a child burial nearby. The husband called it static. The wife refused to sleep in the nursery again. They sold the house months later. In suburban Texas, 2 neighbors filmed the same oddity from opposite yards. A pale wrist slipping under a fence at dawn. Face geometry models analyzed both angles and flagged the same facial proportions. Not a name, just a silhouette that matched a 1920s portrait in the County Historical Society. Local hobbyists dug up the story of a woman who vanished in a winter storm. The fence where the wrist appeared stands where her porch once was. Kids dared each other to touch that post at midnight. That's small-town America folklore turning into a dare. A delivery driver in Nevada caught a midnight dashcam clip. A figure walking across the road, straight into a telephone pole, and then gone. He posted it for laughs. It went viral. Motion analysis revealed a gait that didn't match a living person. The AI returned a near-even split, 48% human, 52% unknown. Comments filled up with local legends, maybe a drunk driver years back, maybe a roadside memorial. The driver says he still catches that shape in his rear view now and then, and the laugh in his later videos sounds a little smaller. If an AI tags something as unknown, that's its polite code for no match. So yeah, don't ask your toaster for dating tips. Laugh if you need to, then let the chill come back. A Colorado family checked their smart lock logs and found an unlock at 4:02 a.m. No key, no app entry, no recognized fingerprint. The log read manual override. They hadn't touched it. Security AI analyzed firmware handshakes and flagged repeated attempts from an unknown device ID. They replaced the lock, and a week later the same timestamp reappeared. Motion cams only ever showed a shadow gliding down the hall. They repositioned a nanny cam and, for reasons they couldn't explain, left an empty chair in the hallway, as if to say, "We know you're there. Sit." A woman scanned a faded family photo from 1972. It had always had a tiny dark blur near the staircase. An image restoration AI tried to reconstruct missing detail and produced what looked like a figure in the doorway, a face turned toward the camera. She'd never noticed it until the algorithm highlighted it. After it went online, commenters traced the house back to a local orphanage ledger and found a child listed as absent. Strangers messaged her condolences and grave photos. She started leaving flowers on that porch. A streamer in Ohio lost connection midstream. The VOD replayed 3 seconds of static, then a slow, warped frame of what looked like a silhouette behind the couch. An AI tried to reconstruct the missing frames and suggested shapes that were never in the raw file. The streamer took a week off. His chat turned into a vigil. Some swore it was a prank. Others begged him to be careful. Compression artifacts can look like ghosts. So can grief. 3 night shift workers at a hospital reported the same dreamlike encounter. An elevator opens and someone is standing there, not moving, just watching. Security footage showed doors opening to empty shafts. Low-light enhancement and detection models flagged human-shaped negative space in the frames. Nurses complained of cold drafts and the smell of old disinfectant. Records later revealed a maintenance worker who died on night shift decades ago. After that, the staff lit a candle in the break room. So what should you actually do if you find odd footage or a weird clip? First, preserve the originals. Don't overwrite raw files. Originals keep context and proof. Second, triangulate. Independent devices that corroborate one another make the story stronger and cut down on shared artifacts. Third, share responsibly. Posting to the right forums invites skeptics, researchers, and folks who might know the local history. Fourth, treat AI like a tool, not a prophet. Ask why and how before you swallow its conclusion. Fifth, keep a log, dates, times, who saw the file, because context is everything. And finally, guard your sanity. Obsessing over patterns will wear you down. Step away. Breathe. Go outside. Talk to someone. If tonight's episode left you rattled, tell me which case dug its claws in the most. Do you trust tech to translate the unknown? Or do you think it makes mysteries worse? Subscribe if you want more of these analyses. We'll keep testing footage, EVPs, and strange device logs. Send your clips in the pinned comment and we might analyze one on camera. If you want a deep dive on any single case, say the number and we'll break it down. Thanks for watching. If this sent a chill through your chest, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and come back for more late-night evidence and eerie encounters. Stay curious and stay safe. Keep your cameras charged and your backups in triplicate. Sometimes the only thing that proves a night was real is what you didn't delete. Good night, and remember, some questions are safer left unanswered. Sleep with one light on.